Lodge is back yet again with more Pathologic 3 news for us. Today, we'll be taking a look at their second devlog titled Do No Harm. Their first devlog was back in November where they covered the sound and atmosphere of the game, and now we're getting some more concrete information about gameplay mechanics. Today's devlog aims to explain the new hospital and patient diagnosis mechanics, which until now we've only seen glimpses of in small clips and brief descriptions. But today, we finally get a deeper look into Pathologic 3's new and different gameplay mechanics. Here on the Steam news page, it said that the devlog is available in both video and text formats, so we'll be taking a look at the video first, and then we'll see if there's anything different in the text. Alright, let's see what they have in store for us. Okay, let's see what Pathologic 3's second devlog, Do No Harm, has for us.
Every game in the Pathologic series is a story of a person trapped in a plague-ridden town. And if that person is the Haruspix, a self-taught surgeon who relies on intuition, scalpel, and knowledge of the step, then you get Pathologic 2, a survival-focused game where a
oh my god, everything looks so beautiful. Dude died right in front of him. Oh, in the capital. Oh, is he majestic?
Take control of Daniil Dankovsky, a renowned medical scholar, a keen observer,
it looks so advanced there.
Laboratory research only in the most exceptional cases. Then the story takes a different turn. Pathologic 3 will offer you an entirely new gameplay experience.
Entirely new gameplay experience. The visuals, again, are so crazy. Also, Khan was hanging there. Last we saw Notkin hanging off a lamppost. Hospital gameplay reveal. The game, it looks so good, guys.
In a city ravaged by a strange disease known as the Sand Plague, Daniil, ever the scientist, notices something unusual.
I don't complain. I live well. It's that my heart hurts.
Oh.
So patients aren't dying within the usual 5 hours.
Wait, are NPCs voice acted now?
The Sand Plague is being weakened by other illnesses. If he can find all these patients and uncover their hidden conditions, he might be able to craft a vaccine. Imperfect, temporary, but what if it's the first step towards saving the town?
So no panacea, we're making a vaccine. Oh my god, hold on. The theater's been redone. I love it. Pink theater. I love the asymmetricalness of it as well. Honestly, it's cool. And there's new like courtyard in front of it. Honestly, the theater really needed something in the middle here because it's just a big open space.
And so, from doctor and researcher, Dankovsky is forced to become a detective. You enter a makeshift hospital hastily set up in the city's theater. You check patients' records, you talk to the sick and examine them. But don't believe everything you hear. Wounds in a hand could be
examining people is going to be so disgusting.
The early signs of an ulcer. A patient might dismiss their headache as the flu, but you recognize symptoms of step fever. And when you encounter blackened eyes, distorted pupils, and other strange anomalies, no amount of common medical knowledge will help. You'll have to learn how to read the symptoms of this.
Oh, NPCs will have like idle animations now?
The hospital walls. Patient's neighbor or a forgotten object in their home might hold the key to their past few days.
Wow, this really isn't like a detective investigation game like it said. We're going to their home, examining every little detail about their environment, examining them, putting the pieces together.
Make the right diagnosis, save a life, and get one step closer
to
the vaccine.
They changed her outfit.
Of course, you could take the simpler route. Run tests. Use a microscope and get a clear answer. You'll see which organs are affected. The data will
honestly, this kind of seems complicated.
And the solution will be much clearer. But where will you find the rare reagents needed for testing in a city consumed by plague? Even if you manage to conduct the research and skillfully eliminate false diagnoses, reagents will run out, and the next patient might not get that luxury.
So you need to be careful with your supplies.
New patients will arrive at your door. If you manage to save them all, you'll take another step toward developing a vaccine for the Sand Plague. 8 vaccines in total. That's all it takes for the city to survive until the 12th day.
So then I wonder, I think we won't be in charge of keeping the Bound alive then. I guess that's not Daniel's task, is keeping the Bound alive at all. It's keeping his patients alive, so that he can learn from them.
But put yourself in the shoes of an ordinary citizen. Would you be willing to take an untested vaccine in the middle of an epidemic? And if doctors started injecting people with strange, unknown substances every day, wouldn't people start whispering,
Oh wow,
panicking,
the
even
NPCs are so
rioting?
animated now.
Dankovsky, be careful with your public decrees, because if the frightened townsfolk turn on you, they might kill you before you have the chance to.
So then I wonder if you can even be responsible for bound deaths. Because to show you, so surely you don't have to actually like give them immunity boosters or anything to keep them alive like that, but maybe they'll die from like events throughout the game, like the how you can make one of the Vlads die. Like maybe one of the choices led to Khan or Notkin being hung from a lamppost.
Save them. Sometimes an exhausted Dankovsky closes his eyes and wonders, what if death could simply be killed? The locals believe the plague is brought by a steppe demon.
No way, I can torch, I can just throw around, go around torching the place. Oh my god!
If it really existed, if he could shoot
Oh,
it,
the sand plague is much more formidable.
Instrument,
That shit's straight up scary.
no matter how impossible it seemed. It would be better than fighting against the very people he's trying to save. How to maintain the delicate balance of life in a dying town and keep your own sanity intact. That is a story for another time.
Keep your own
After
sanity
all,
intact.
What happens in the hospital under the microscope is only the surface of Pathologic 3.
Yep. I really hope that in the next one they finally explain the sanity mechanics. Okay, so I guess we did get a deeper look into the diagnosing stuff. A lot of cinematic shots, like this is amazing. We got to see Artemy. Honestly, I'm so excited to actually see more of Artemy in the Bachelor route. And then this clip of the, surely this is the capital. This place would not exist in our town. But just wow, the vibes of the capital is crazy. Oh, and interesting how there's like a clock design because of the whole like time mechanics as well that we have yet to understand about either. Could this possibly be Daniel's lab? And we do see Daniel here. At first I assumed this to be just some random location, but this could legitimately be his lab, or the building that his lab is in. And look, there's this bar up here. Could this be psychosis maybe? Unstable is over here. Regular is over here. Oh, you know, maybe there is some aspect of protecting your bound because the narrator said you only needed 8 vaccines to survive until the 12th day. And doesn't Daniel have 8 bounds? So that it actually could tie into protecting his bound somehow. That could still be some kind of a gameplay mechanic. Oh, and there's that bar again at the top. Maybe this is the psychosis meter then. Because it's not something that we see only in the capital, which I assume is like just the beginning segments of the game.
Every day, new patients will arrive at your door. If you manage to save them all, you'll take another step toward developing a vaccine for the
So you
sand
have
plague.
to save every patient each day in order to fully gain a fully understanding of the plague. And this is interesting here too. Oh, this is his mind map for each day individually. Kind of interesting how... Yeah, he's on day 3 and he already has thoughts for day 4. I know we've been told this is a non-linear story. That's also something they need to explain. They have so many gameplay mechanics they still need to explain. I'm still very much confused. But then here again, we have another meter. They have so much to explain still. What could all these bars mean? And these decrees, I'm very interested in actually like dishing out the decrees. Because it seems you need to manage your reputation and your decrees, and also, like he just said, administering random cures to people on the streets is going to have people talking about you. Let's take a look at some of these decrees. We can administer a curfew, which costs patrolmen and equipment, which also raises or lowers unrest, and increases contagion. They've like taken the resource management of Pathologic 2 and Classic and seems like they've transformed it into the resource, like the legitimate town resource management. We have rations, equipment, fuel, medicine patrolmen, and orderlies, which you all need to manage. And it looks like you can actually lose all of these, which can in turn affect the rest of like unrest and contagion, I assume. And it seems like there's multiple types of decrees to make. We're on this tab, the fist tab. There's also a time tab, a judgment tab, a plague tab, or a hospital tab. Or maybe this is a hospital tab. Oh no, the decrees are sorted into those categories. I see. So this is a fist decree. This is a hospital decree. This is a food decree, exchange equipment for food, maybe a resource related decree. This is disinfection, arrange the disinfection of infected areas with carbolic acid. And this is another medicine one, experimental vaccine. Wow, I can't wait to actually play with this stuff. Something interesting back here, there's a bunch of scaffolding on one of those buildings. I wonder if maybe they redid Peter's apartment to have scaffolding upon it again? Or maybe this is some kind of plague decoration back there? For plague districts? Pay no attention to Khan. We're interested in scaffolding here, not Khan. This is legitimately like out of nightmares. I need this. I need this. The new plague clouds, which are just humans. They're really humanoid, chasing after you, possibly screaming and making that noise. That's gonna sound so cool. Let's take a look at the tech stuff. There's a few screenshots we can look at. It doesn't seem that different. Let me just read over this. I'll let you know if there's anything different. Okay, I think everything is pretty much word for word of what we heard in the video, except for this segment here, to kill death at the very end. They did mention that the Steppe people believe that the plague is brought by the Shabnak, but it also mentions that if it were real, he could shoot it with his fancy capital-made prototype gadget. He would take the risk no matter how impossible it seemed. Anything would be better than fighting people who resist their own salvation. I didn't think of it much when he said it in the video, but I guess a key point of maybe one of the days or maybe an overarching story is going to be investigating the Shabnak. Because if the Steppe people believe it to be the source of the plague, and Daniel seems to have some kind of interest in it, maybe we'll actually get to see a Shabnak. That would be really cool, because we've never seen one, really. We've only heard the rumors. Really. We might actually see a real Shabnak in Pathologic 3. Well, actually, we do indeed get to see a real Shabnak right here, right now. I realized as I was editing this video. In the clip where we see that very realistic humanoid plague cloud, which I just thought would be another plague cloud variation of a plague cloud, we can see just before we get too close to it and it actually like aggroes onto Daniel, you can actually see a step woman standing there. And this is actually the Shabnak. As soon as Daniel approaches it, it turns into this plague demon which attacks. And this is genuinely so cool. Like, Shabnaks are for real in the game now. And they're like an enemy type as well. This is just, it's so cool. It's so cool. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. We did get to see a lot more of the updated town. Looks amazing. We did get to see more gameplay mechanics, which I'm still very much confused on. Hopefully next hopefully next they'll cover one of the other gameplay mechanics, like psychosis. Definitely needs an explanation, and also the whole time traveling non-linear thing. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.